Lucia being female isn't politics, it's a story choice, one they've been thinking about for over a decade, and what that story might actually deliver is something nobody seems ready to talk about yet. Now, what you're actually afraid of, here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. This was never about realism, never about physical presence, never about girl boss agendas. At the deepest level, it's about change.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Duplays here, back with some more GTA 6 reactions for you guys. Today we're checking out GTA 6 as a Lucia problem. I wonder what that's going to be about. With no further ado, let's get into it.
Let me tell you exactly what happened the second Lucia Caminos appeared on screen. Half the world leaned forward, the other half crossed their arms, and in that single split-second reflex was everything wrong with how we talk about characters now. Because I've spent months watching this debate, reading thousands of comments, and one question kept nagging at me that nobody seems to actually be asking. Why does Lucia make people so uncomfortable? Not just the people dismissing her, the people over-defending her too. Both sides are burning with a heat that goes way beyond a video game character. And when something hits that deep, that personal, it usually means the fight isn't really about what people think it's about. So let's go deeper, because the real story here isn't Lucia, it's us. And once I lay it out, you're going to see this completely differently. Every single GTA protagonist has been male until now.
Yes, sir.
Beginning, because context is everything.
I saw another video in my feed that said, why having a female protagonist is bad for GTA. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of similarities in that video and this one, even though I haven't seen that video that I'm talking about now. So I'm really just yapping at the moment. But I do like the fact that there's a female protagonist. I really am interested to see how she handles herself, considering the two of them are in a relationship. I'm really hoping for a really good, moving story. I really
Claude,
am.
Tommy, CJ, Nico, Michael, Franklin, Trevor, every single GTA protagonist male, every single one of them, iconic. And for 30 years, that's just how it was. Nobody questioned it. Nobody debated it. It was simply the shape of things. And then Lucia showed up and suddenly everyone had an opinion. But here's the question I actually want you to answer honestly. Is there any part of you that already decided she couldn't belong on that list before you?
No, not at all. And also, I like the fact that she's not a white woman, as racist as that is. Not that I would have a problem with the fact that if she were a white woman, I wouldn't have an issue with that. I don't know. I just like the fact that it's a Latina.
You even
Latinas. Sorry, let's continue.
Because a lot of people did within 48 hours, and I'm not here to judge them for it. I'm here to ask why, because that answer is far more interesting than any argument about whether a woman can carry a GTA game. And to understand that, we need to go back even further to a quote that most people completely missed, the Dan Houser quote that changes everything. Back in 2013, over a decade before GTA 6 existed, Dan Houser was already thinking about this when asked if Rockstar ever considered a female lead for GTA 5. He said they hadn't found the right game for it yet, but that they always thought about it, and that with the right themes it could be fantastic. That's not a corporate deflection, that's a creative person saying we're not doing this until it's earned. And now 10 years later, Lucia exists, which means Rockstar
understandable
found what they were looking for, the right story, the right world, the right moment. So before you dismiss her, if Rockstar spent over a decade waiting for the right time, do you really think they fumbled the execution? But here's the thing, even with all that context, people still came out swinging. And the wildest part, both sides are getting it completely wrong. The two camps that are both getting it wrong. On one side, she's not believable, not strong enough, doesn't have the physical presence a GTA protagonist needs. These are the same people who spent hundreds of hours as a man who survived 37 gunshot wounds by eating a chicken sandwich, who accepted jet thefts, ocean swims in a suit, and walking away from explosions that would level a city block. Realism was never the deal. So when someone says Lucia isn't believable, what they're really saying is she doesn't look like what they expect. That's not logic, that's just comfort. But the other side isn't innocent either. The crowd that...
Lucia looks like your average run-of-the-mill, well, I wouldn't say run-of-the-mill, but she looks like your street-smart type of woman that can just handle herself. Like, she probably has multiple brothers that were probably drug dealers, gangbangers, dudes in the street, in the hood, you know the lifestyle. Latinos do that as well, it's not just blacks. I'm not being racist, but I kinda am even by saying that. But I don't know, I feel like she looks like she can handle herself. She looks like she knows how to use multiple different types of guns. Yeah, she looks like she breaks the stereotype of a damsel in distress. I feel like she can actually handle herself, combat, streetwise. I really do.
About how she looks, that reduces an entire character to a gold dress and jiggle physics. They're just as damaging because they're looking at a character with real potential and turning her into a prop. Lucia is trapped in a lose-lose. Either she's not enough or she's only a body. Neither side is actually seeing her, and that's the real problem. But to understand where that problem comes from, we need to talk about something that's been building for years: female protagonist fatigue and why it's not entirely unreasonable. The skepticism around female protagonists didn't come from nowhere, and pretending it did isn't honest. Over the past several years, we've been flooded with female leads that were written badly, the girl boss template flawless, unbeatable, emotionally invincible, surrounded by weaker men who exist just to make her look better. No arc, no struggle, no humanity, just a message wearing a character's face, and audiences could feel it every single time.
Audiences could feel it every single time, just like the Barbie movie. They didn't try to hide it at all.
They built a reflex, a preemptive cynicism that now fires automatically the moment a female lead gets announced. I call it female protagonist fatigue, and it's real. The tragedy is
you can always feel the undertone of you can feel the feminist, strong, independent woman undertone in any form of media. I sometimes I can even sense it before it happens in the show. Like it's always something to tear down and insult men. But I'm not gonna go any further into this. I'm not in my feelings. I'm just stating what's facts. Let's circle back on
reflex
GTA.
Is now firing on characters that don't deserve it, because Lucia is not that template. She is not flawless. She starts the story in prison. She's someone who made mistakes, paid for them.
It's GTA. We expect our rocky past. It wouldn't be interesting if the life was scot-free. I mean, was a bed of roses. It's Grand Theft Auto. It's supposed to be grimy, illegal. It's the name of the game, literally.
That won't make anything easy. That's not a girl boss. That's a human being. And there's a massive difference. The proof: Rockstar already created a female character this community loved, and most people seem to have forgotten about her entirely. Rockstar has done this before, and you loved it.
Are you talking about Catalina from San Andreas? Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about GTA. I didn't know we were talking about Red Dead Redemption
2 as a grieving widow, quiet, broken, the kind of character you expected to fade into the background, and then Rockstar let her grow. They gave her pain, purpose, and one of the most compelling arcs in the entire game. By the credits, the fan base was begging for a Sadie spin-off. Nobody questioned if she was believable. Nobody reduced her to her appearance. They just watched her become extraordinary and fell in love with her. Rockstar already proved they can write a female character the community deeply connects with. So the question isn't, can they write Lucia well? We know they can.
Whoops.
The question is, will you give her the same chance you gave Sadie? It's because history is actually trying to warn us about something here, and most people are ignoring it. The Arthur Morgan lesson nobody seems to remember. When Red Dead 2 was announced and John Marston got stepped aside for some unknown named Arthur Morgan, the reaction was brutal. Generic, boring, can't carry a story. Rockstar's making a mistake. Sound familiar? The comment sections from 2018 look almost identical to the ones about Lucia today. Same rejection, same refusal.
And for sure, of course, you're definitely in the back of your mind as you're saying all this, probably thinking, yeah, they're probably going to prove me wrong. And I'm sure you're hoping that they will prove you wrong. But I don't have an issue with people making videos like these, sharing their perspective. I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. I think it's going to be great. But I'm very interested in hearing why people think it's going to be an issue. It gives me a new perspective I didn't have.
Refusal to accept the unfamiliar. And then the game launched, and Arthur Morgan didn't just carry the story, he became the story. He is now, by near universal agreement, one of the greatest protagonists in gaming history. The same people who wrote him off, they're writing tributes to him now. The lesson is simple: you cannot judge a character from a trailer. Arthur proved that. Lucia deserves the same mercy, but I know what some of you are still thinking, that this isn't about Arthur or Sadie or familiarity, that this is about something else entirely, that Rockstar has an agenda, so let's kill that question right now. Has Rockstar gone woke? Let's end this. No. And the fact that it's even being asked tells me more about the person asking than it does about the game. GTA has spent 30 years mocking everyone, every ideology, every movement, every sacred cow, liberals, conservatives, corporations.
It's like the Family Guy of video games. That's literally what GTA is.
Social media, celebrity culture, nobody gets a pass. That is the DNA of this franchise. It is an equal opportunity chaos machine. The idea that this studio, these people, suddenly became a vessel for progressive messaging is almost comedically absurd. If anything, GTA 6 will probably mock the exact conversation we're having right now. The culture war, the outrage machine, the woke debate, Rockstar will skewer all of it, because that's what they do. Lucia being female isn't politics, it's a story choice, one they've been thinking about for over a decade, and what that story might actually deliver is something nobody seems ready to talk about yet. Now, what you're actually afraid of, here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. This was never about realism, never about physical presence, never about girl boss agendas. At the deepest level, it's about change, something that was always a certain way, suddenly being different, and different is terrifying to the parts of us we don't like to admit exist. GTA has been a specific kind of power fantasy for a specific kind of player for a long time, and now that fantasy is being expanded, shared, and some people, consciously or not, aren't ready for that. But I'll ask you this, what would you actually lose by giving her a real chance? Because if
Oh, we wouldn't lose anything. Like I said, I'm glad to see a female protagonist. I want to see how she relates to Jason, and based on what we've seen in trailer 2, yeah, they seem to have something great going on. I'm a bit of a sucker for romances as a guy, which is kind of corny to say. Let me just let him finish up.
Entire history says they will. You might end up loving her just as fiercely as the characters you already do. And if she falls flat, I'll be the first one to say it loudly. But I don't think that's what's coming.
I don't think so either. I think it's going to be amazing. What kind of video title is that? Anyway, Lucy is going to have a really hard time wearing the comments now when I have the controller. Why? Because she's going to screw over Jason. I'll make her earn it. GTA 6 is my very last game. I gave it up 5 years ago, and back then I said to self, if 6 is looking like a great waste of time, then it will be my last game. It's looking like a great waste of time. I'm not locked in with hopes of what it could be, the way I did with GTA 5, and because of that built-up hype it didn't deliver, I'm living life and I don't care about all this speculation. It's my last game as well. Vice City got me into gaming back in 2002, and now it ends with Vice City. I'm glad they have both characters. Lucy will probably add something to the story GTA has been missing, but I am a man and I kind of live vicariously through these games. I dress characters up in clothes that I would see myself wearing. I customize vehicles the way I would if I was to be able to walk into a shop and say, this is what I want done to my car. While free roaming, I will probably play Jason more than Lucia, just because I can get into the game more that way. Yeah, because I'm a male, so I'm going to pick a male character too. In Grand Theft Auto 5, I play Franklin more than the other two because he was more relatable to me. Same, not because he was black, like me. It really was his special ability, but also, age-wise, he was the closest to me. Granted, I was a teen at the time. Franklin is like, what, 26 in GTA 5? So literally just off of age demographic, I relate to him the most. Not even counting the ethnicity stuff. Alright, I'm going to play both characters regardless. I know GTA has been dominated by the male community for a long time. Something different can be good. I'm rooting for her. What happened in the trailers, I think she can pull through, change these guys' opinion on everything. Okay, yeah, so that's the comments. That was my reaction to GTA 6 has a Lucia problem, even though he admitted that he doesn't think it's going to be bad, and I agree. But speculation is always good. I mean, well, different perspectives is always good, which is speculation pretty much. Yeah, so that was my reaction to that. Hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all of that good stuff. Follow my socials, TikTok, Instagram, and Discord. They'll be in the description. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Goodbye.